So we all get tired of our problems sometimes. We all need a break from it all, and maybe one day soon we will get a chance to take a vacation. But what if we could escape for just a moment right now? What if we could take a break from our problems without even leaving our seats? What if we could take a quick mental vacation? Well, why don't we close our eyes for a moment, relax, and listen to a little story about a majestic winged horse whose name is Pegasus. Long ago, from the blood of Medusa, a wondrous creature was born, white as snow, with wings that shimmered in sunlight. This was Pegasus, the winged horse. From his first leap, the world grew quiet beneath his wings. Mountains bowed below, clouds drifted beside him. Pegasus was a spirit of freedom, a reminder that skies themselves could bring peace. Many heroes sought him, but Pegasus could not be taken by force. Only those with courage and a calm heart could ride beside him. At last, Athena guided Pegasus to the stars. There he became a constellation, watching over dreamers at night. So when you look to the sky, you may see Pegasus shining, his wings stretched wide, a symbol of freedom and calm. How does that story make you feel? Does it bring you peace? Maybe it reminds you of a time when you felt free. Do you remember the feeling? Freedom can feel good, can't it? Being carefree, not having to worry about anything. Just existing in the moment. Not thinking about the past or the future, just being present and enjoying yourself. It can feel good. Do you ever wish you could bottle that feeling up and save it for a rainy day? Well, when you hear stories like the one about Pegasus, you might think about that feeling of freedom and peace. Stories like these are called myth tales. These stories often have fantastical elements. They can help us explore deep emotions and complex ideas, which is one reason why people love them so much. We can explore big emotions and tough subjects through fantasy, magic, and mythical creatures. Sometimes these stories help us explore what it means to be human. They can help us understand ourselves better. And sometimes they just tell a fun story. Myth tales have been around for thousands of years. Some cultures have very similar myths. All cultures have myth tales. Myths can teach us things about other cultures. They can also teach us about our own culture. Myths are passed down from generation to generation, and that means they change as they are retold. Over time, they take on new meanings. When we listen to myths, we connect with something bigger than ourselves. We become part of a community of people who share these stories. Sharing myths helps us understand other cultures. It helps us understand ourselves. We learn about life and how to live. We can also just enjoy a good story. Myths are powerful because they help us connect with others. They help us understand the world around us. They teach us about life and how to live. They can also just tell a fun story. Stories like these have been told for thousands of years. People loved listening to them, gathered around campfires, and then telling them to their friends. Now we can listen to them anywhere, anytime. You can find myth tales from many different cultures online or at your local library. There are hundreds of fantastic myths from many different cultures. Which ones are your favorites? The internet is full of stories about brave heroes, scary monsters, and magical creatures. You can find myth tales from all around the world, online, or at your local library. There are hundreds of fantastic myths from many different cultures. So many great adventures are just waiting for you. So many amazing stories are just waiting to be discovered. And some stories are just plain fun. Listen to this one. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a princess who was known for her beauty. She had flowing golden hair that reached down to her ankles and a smile that could light up a room. But the princess was not happy. You might ask why. Well, Every day she heard the same old stories from her tutors and lords and ladies. She wanted something new, an adventure. Then one day her wish came true. The king and queen announced that a terrible monster had been sighted near the kingdom, and they offered a reward to anyone who could slay the beast. The princess was determined to be the hero of her own story. She grabbed her sword and shield and set off on a quest to defeat the monster. Along the way, she met a handsome young knight who had also come to slay the beast. They joined forces, and together they faced many challenges. They fought off ferocious wolves and crossed a river filled with crocodiles. Finally, they reached the monster's lair and prepared for battle. The monster was huge and scary, but the princess was not afraid. With the help of the knight, she defeated the beast and returned home a hero. Everyone cheered for her, and the king rewarded her with a crown. She had finally found her adventure and her happily ever after. What do you think? Isn't that a good story? Did you enjoy it? Stories like these are called fairy tales. Fairy tales are folk stories that usually have magical elements and a happy ending. Fairy tales have been told for hundreds of years. They are meant to entertain children and adults. They can teach lessons about right and wrong, good and evil, courage and kindness. Some well-known fairy tales include Cinderella, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Hansel and Gretel, Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel, and the Frog Prince. These tales are full of magic, adventure, and important lessons. They can take you to faraway lands where anything is possible. They can introduce you to magical creatures and characters. They can also teach you about life and how to be a good person. Fairy tales are more than just stories. They are a part of our culture. They are passed down from generation to generation. They are shared around the world. They are told in many different languages. They are also adapted into movies, TV shows, and other media. Some fairy tales have been around for centuries. Others were written just a few years ago. No matter when they were written, all fairy tales are full of wonder and magic. They can take you to another world and make you believe in the impossible. There are many different types of myth tales from all around the world. Would you like to know more about some of them? Let me tell you about a few more. Myths are stories that explain how the world began. They often involve gods, goddesses, and other supernatural beings. Greek mythology tells the story of how Zeus and his brothers overthrew the Titans and created the world. Norse mythology tells the story of how the first humans were created from the body of a giant. Then there are legends. Legends are stories about heroes and their adventures. They may or may not be based on real events, but they are always exciting and full of adventure. The legend of King Arthur tells the story of a brave king who pulled the sword from the stone and led his knights to victory. The legend of Robin Hood tells the story of an outlaw who robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. And don't forget about fables. Fables are short stories that teach a lesson. They often feature animals as characters and are easy to understand. The fable of the tortoise and the hare teaches the lesson that slow and steady wins the race. The fable of the boy who cried wolf teaches the lesson that if you lie too much, no one will believe you. There are many other types of myth tales, but these are just a few examples. There are many different types of myth tales from all around the world. Which ones do you like best? Myths, legends, fairy tales, fables, epics, and Perkoi tales. There are many different types of myth tales. You can explore many of these tales online or at your local library. You can also read books about them. There are many different types of myth tales from all around the world. So many great adventures are just waiting for you. So many amazing stories are just waiting to be discovered. And some stories are just plain fun. So next time you want to escape from reality for a while, why not pick up a book of myth tales? You won't regret it. Myths are stories that help us understand the world around us. They help us explain the unknown. Myths can help us understand ourselves better. They can help us explore big emotions and complex ideas. They can also just tell a fun story. If this gentle tale of Pegasus brought you peace, subscribe for more calming myths each week. Together, we'll journey through legends and dreams. Click subscribe now, and let's keep dreaming. Together, when you dream, anything is possible. You can fly with Pegasus, fight alongside legendary heroes, or explore magical lands. The only limit is your imagination. So next time you close your eyes to sleep, remember that you hold the power to shape your dreams. You never know where your adventures will take you. Thank you for watching today. See you next time.